Taiwan is making a TV show about the Chinese invasion, and it's hitting close to home. Director Lo Jin working on the scene in Taiwanese TV series Zero Day. Hong Kong Taipei CNN. Following a military blockade, panic and chaos rip through the besieged Iceland. Residents scramble to withdraw cash. Foreign nationals rush to be evacuated. Riots break out in prisons, and television network are hacked into a broadcasting enemy propaganda. These fictitious scenes have stilled the emotion and imagination in Taiwan over what an imminent Chinese invasion may look like, since their release last month in a trailer for the Zero Day of forthcoming Taiwanese television series. In a 10-part show, is the first in Taiwan to dramatize a possible invasion by China's People's Liberation Army. That threat has loomed over the self-governing Iceland for decades, but is now gaining pace as the more powerful and aggressive China, ruled by the Communist Party, increasingly flexes its military might, pushing tensions to new heights. The 70-minute trailer hit close to home in Taiwan, making headlines in local media and garnering more than 1 million views on YouTube. As a 21-year-old, I almost burst into tears when I watched it. Every scene in those 70 minutes felt so close to us. Maybe one day in the future, these scenarios will become the reality around us, said a top comment with more than 1,000 upvotes. But the show also attracted criticism, including from opposition politicians who said it created panic and exaggerated the crisis. The specter of war is nothing new for Taiwan, a progressive democracy living in the shadow of authoritarian China, which viewed Iceland as its own territory and has vowed to seize it by force if necessary. Many of Taiwan's 23 million people have grown used to Beijing's military threat, even as they become more regular and prominent under Xi Jinping, China's strongman leader. But Mei Cheung, the showrunner of Zero Day, worried that her fellow Taiwan citizens have grown too numb to the danger of the impending conflict. Frankly, everyone has their own fears and imaginations about the war, but in our daily lives, many avoid it or even pretend it doesn't exist, the journalist turned screenwriter told CNN. But as the crisis looms larger over the past 2 years, I think it is about time we take a hard look at it and open this Pandora's box, she said. Mei Cheung, the showrunner of Zero Day, says she hoped a show can serve as the wake-up call to the people of Taiwan. A first in Taiwan. In late 2022, more than half a year into Russia's invasion of Ukraine and months after former U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's visit to Taipei prompted a massive show of force from Beijing, Cheung decided to turn China's threat against Taiwan into a TV drama. It was the unprecedented project in an industry that had traditionally shunned sensitive political topics, Cheung said, but she found no shortage of like-minded partners along the way. Robert Tsao, the chip tycoon and one of Taiwan's richest men, became the show's first major investor. The tech billionaire who founded Taiwan's first semiconductor company, UMC, has previously warned of China's threat and donated tens of millions of dollars to help Taiwan bolster its defense. Cheung also assembled a team of 10 directors, which each responsible for a episode in Zero Day that tells an independent story. Her main criterion for picking the crew not afraid of being banned by China. The vast Chinese market of 1.4 billion people has long been a draw for Taiwan's actors and directors. But as tension rises across the strait, Taiwanese artists are increasingly faced with the choice between vocally turning Beijing's political line or being blocked from its lucrative market. The existence of these series shows that there are investors and talent who are willing to resist China's aggression, and there are a market for them, said Lo King-jim, who directed the show's trailer and one of the episodes. We are all worried and anxious about Taiwan's present and future, and we hope to contribute what we can with our own skills. The crew films a scene inside the Taiwan's presidential office building. Taiwan's government and its military were supportive of the series too. The presidential office allowed the show to film on its premise, including a room where the president delivers addresses, and with the military approval, the production crew shot scenes aboard the warship during its routine drills. Getting the authorities on board wasn't easy. It took a lot of communication and persuasion at first, Cheung said, but the officers understood the importance of the issue at stake and the power of films and TV shows in shaping public perception. She added, eventually they decided it could be a good thing if someone makes a TV series about it. The show also received the funding from Taiwan's Ministry of Culture, but Lo, the director, stressed that it was part of the broader program to support the Iceland film and the TV industries. Neither the funding nor the access from filming gives the government any rights to interfere with the production, Lo said, adding that not a single word of the script had been modified by the government. This is not a political propaganda video or patriotic film, she said. That level of artistic and political freedom would be impossible in mainland China and even in the city of Hong Kong, which once boosted the comparatively free and outspoken film industry that has been tamed in recent years as part of the wider crackdown. Some Hong Kong artists have since moved to Taiwan, including Chapman Toh, who is starring in Zero Day, a vocal supporter of Hong Kong's pro-democracy movement, to become a naturalized Taiwanese citizen in 2022. The shooting of Zero Day, which started in March, is expected to be wrapped up by the end of November, and the show is planned for broadcast in Taiwan next year. The production team is also in touch with the streaming services, including Netflix, for a potential international release, though discussions are still in the early stage, Lo said. The Zero Day crew shot a scene aboard the Taiwanese warship, the Red Infiltration. Most of the series takes place in the week-long countdown to Zero Day, the day of a fictional attack. It started with Beijing imposing a naval and area blockade on Taiwan under the pretext of search and rescue for the PLA aircraft that vanished near the island. In the final episode, the Chinese soldiers make landing in Kinmen, a frontline island controlled by Taiwan. Cheung noted the show doesn't feature many bloody scenes of military combat. Instead, much of the focus is placed on Red Infiltration by China's ruling Communist Party. For me, the war has already begun in Taiwan. It is not being fought through the guns and cannons, but through information and infiltration, each permitting our daily lives, she said. Taiwan officials have increasingly warned against China's cognitive warfare operations, including disinformation campaigns to sway public opinion. In zero-day, Chinese infiltration and cognitive warfare takes on many forms, from the rule of money and power to the threat of violence. In the trailer, the Taiwanese influencer casually encourages her fans to give up the fight and endorse a peace agreement with Beijing, while live streaming herself savoring an ice cream. Elsewhere, a group of felons walk free from prison and instigate unrest, attacking those who refuse unification. Neither of these scenarios are unimaginable, thanks to the Iceland free speech protections, which are hard won after decades of a martial law rule. This is not unusual to see Taiwanese celebrities and influencers parroting Beijing's talking point. Meanwhile, the Taiwan authorities have long publicly accused certain organized crime groups of spreading pro-Chinese Communist Party influence. In another chilling scene in the trailer, the president's emergency address to Taiwan is hacked during a live broadcast, which with the AI deepfake declare war on China. Then television scenes across the Iceland abruptly cut to newscast on Chinese state TV, with an airy smile on anchor. Airy smile on anchor in a pink suit announced. A PLA promises all Taiwanese compatriots will be fully protected and argues them to report any pro-independence forces in hiding. A scene from the trailer of Zero Day shows pro-Beijing supporters hanging up banners calling for unification. Su Zhiyun, a military expert on Taiwan's Institute for National Defense and Security Research, who has served as an advisor to Zero Day, said the series would be an important force in countering China's gray zone tactics or actions just below what might be considered the act of war. In the face of fear, people can build up confidence, and this can indirectly and partially offset China's influence warfare, he said. At the same time, when each film is shown on the international streaming platforms, viewers around the world can learn about Taiwan from a new perspective, he added. The teaser has drawn praise as well as criticism. Some blamed the series for creating panic. Li Yan-Hushi, a member of parliament from the opposition Kuomintang Party, which in recent decades has pushed for closer ties with China, accused the show of exaggerating the threat of war and further deterring international tourists from visiting Taiwan. Others accused the trailer of making the Taiwan government look too feeble in the face of aggression from China, which has the military, population, and economy that dwarf Taiwan's. Though the director said the government's capability and Taiwan's social cohesion are deliberately weakened in the show to highlight the power of Chinese infiltration and alert Taiwanese people to be more vigilant in real life. We want to explore what part of humanity will show up in such a state. Would it be a fragility, fear and greed, or courage and empathy, he said. I believe that every Taiwanese person has their own version of zero-day attack in their mind. We were just the first to make it into a series. Cheung didn't mind the mixed reaction. We all think it's a good thing, as well as the show generates the attention and discussion. It means that it resonated with something in people's heart, she said. Cheung said she didn't want the show to cause division in Taiwan. During the production process, the crew tried to search for a common denominator that could represent the aspirations of all Taiwanese people. They found the answer and placed it in the trailer, in the form of the line in the presidential address. We will always believe without choices, there's no freedom without freedom. There's no Taiwan. I hope the show can serve as the wake-up call to the Taiwanese people. What should we do when we still have the right to choose? Cheung said.